Hello and welcome to the video for the Seiko chronograph 72620EEO or 0EE0 SNA423, possibly SNA423. You want to make a note of that. This is quite a nice watch actually. It has been used, it is worn. I'd say it's probably, well, it's between 6 and 7 out of 10. It depends on how critical you really want to be in terms of how utterly perfect it is. But yeah, anyway, 20 centimeters is the wrist diameter for the bracelet and watch. So if your wrist is any bigger, it won't fit. But if it's below 20 centimeters, it will fit. But this watch actually is quite nicely suited for the 17 centimeter brigade, average wrist size, with being just under 40 centimeters from the edges of the bezel. I'll tell you what we're going to do is bring this in a bit. So yeah, just under 40 mil, and it's about 42 including the crown. It's not a particularly deep watch, it's about 11 or 12 mil in depth, 2 pushers, center crown. But it also has a nicely articulating bracelet, like so. So it falls really nicely straight down. And that dimension between the top of the lug and the bottom of the lug, so the whole wrist size, fits a 17 centimeter perfectly. Looks really nice on my medium-sized wrist. Yeah, it's about 45 millimeters between the two lug distances. The strap itself is really never going to be changed out because it's an odd strap, as you can see, and it looks like it's pin and the collar all the way around on the strap, or bracelet I should say, which is in pretty nice order. As you can see, some minor scratches, standard steel pressed clasp, snaps shut nicely, and again pretty nice order. Now this has a decent build quality. It's a relatively heavy watch, about 130 grams I would imagine, and it's got that same build quality as the Seiko Sportura I have here, which is a much more expensive watch. But this thing is a really nice piece as well. But this one has sapphire crystal but no dome, it's flat, whereas you can see this one has a domed crystal. So the Sportura and this one probably are in the same sort of range. I imagine the Sportura was a little bit more expensive, but this one is sharing the same sort of build quality. Let's move on a bit quicker because I think you'll probably get really bored, and if you'll be bored stiff if you're not looking to buy this watch. So overall condition of it, we've got minor marks and scratches all around the outer edge of the bezel where it's been worn, but you know, not too bad. This is under macro. You know, when you look at this watch at a glance to your wrist, it'll look pretty nice. The star of the show is the domed mineral crystal, which has got some minor scratches. See if I can show you. Again, they're pretty minor, but there we go. One at 11 o'clock. You can just feel that. It's pretty light. Some around the edge there at 12 o'clock. And there is another one which is a bit heavier. There we are, just making it out there in a straight line across from 3. Could polish out with some polywatch. The watch has an alarm. I've not checked that actually, but the last one I had worked fine. It's a puny alarm. It really won't wake many people up, but it's there. That's the characteristic of the 7262. We've got an applied Seiko logo just underneath the hour hand there. Let's just move that around. So an applied Seiko marker. applied pips on the hours, a nice minute track with individual markings again in the outer edge of that. The loom is okay. I think there's a picture of the loom, and framed window with a white dial. But the dial itself is quite interesting. It reminiscent of a Seiko Kinetic I just sold, a dress watch, which was quite smart. Those hands are nice as well. Let's just explain the chrono. So this pusher at 1 o'clock is a little bit duff. It unfortunately is stuck in. I've tried to alleviate it, but it won't seem to budge that much. I can push it out, but as soon as you push it in, it tends to get stuck. But it is working, so you can show your friends. So you push it in, he says. If I reset it, maybe that button was on. Do you know, I did this in practice and it was fine. The crown's out. The crown was out, you donut. Right. So start again. Push the pusher in. There we go. So what's that? That's a 4 tick per second. I think VH31 type style. Loomed pip on the end of that seconds timing hand. As you can see, a small second still rotates. Push that in to stop and to reset. It's got a sweet reset, this actually. Look at this sweep. Lovely. Actually, it's just off. You can recenter them in, and maybe that's as close as I could have got it, but it's, as you can see under macro, that is just off. We'll go again, so I'll show you the elapsed timer this time. Bottom pusher, press. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Jumps forward. That is your elapsed time. Stop with the pusher and reset. Yeah, you can see it's just a 1 notch off on. You can reset these by pulling out the crown and then changing from dials and then adjusting them slightly, but it's just a fraction off at the top if you're a little bit anal like me, and I mean we are talking a fraction. I can't actually see it in my own eyes from here, it's only under through the camera. Yeah, it's got a decent feel. I mean, you know what it's like with these bracelets that are all chinky. It's not like that. The back of the case is marked, again some scratches and a little bit of wear mark, 10 bar, but the back's been off, so I wouldn't trust the water resistance that much, so be aware. But as you can see, it's a pretty thing. I like that. And on the wrist strap, let's get out of magnification. It looks pretty nice. Anyway, we'll leave you with that. That's the Seiko 7T62 with a domed crystal. Thanks for watching.